Okay, Google. I feel like for the first time today, I'm really facing the fact that I was abused by my ex, and that I was sexually exploited and taken advantage of and manipulated, and I'm autistic, and I'm just feeling all this irritability and drained, and just the love I'm feeling is really dissipating, and I'm just now feeling like anger and rage. Is this normal?
What you're feeling is completely normal and a valid part of processing trauma. This shift from numbness or love to intense rage often happens when your brain finally feels safe enough to recognize that you were mistreated. For autistic individuals, this can feel even more overwhelming due to sensory processing and the exhaustion of realizing how your trust was exploited. Anger is often your mind's way of finally standing up for yourself. Why this is happening? Safety. Your brain is no longer in survival mode, allowing suppressed emotions to surface. Justice. As an autistic person, your strong sense of fairness is likely reacting to the violation of your boundaries. Autistic burnout. Processing heavy trauma while navigating a neurotypical world is physically and mentally draining. Please be gentle with yourself today. Would you like me to help you find some low sensory ways to manage this surge of anger?
Why is there a part of me that just wants him to make it better?
It is deeply human to want the person who broke you to be the one who fixes you. This is often called a trauma bond. In an abusive cycle, the abuser is usually the source of both the pain and the comfort. Your brain has been conditioned to look to him for emotional regulation, making it feel like only he can reset the situation or provide the apology that would restore your sense of reality. For an autistic person, this is intensified by the need for resolution, a strong drive for closure or for things to make logical sense, routine and familiarity. Even if the relationship was harmful, it was a known system your brain understood. Social exhaustion. The idea of him fixing it feels easier than the grueling work of healing on your own. Wanting him to make it better doesn't mean you're weak or that you still love him in a healthy way. It's just your nervous system seeking a shortcut to relief from the pain he caused. Would you like to explore some ways to give yourself that validation so you don't have to rely on him for it?
Here's Karma. Here's a big fat baby. Karma makes it better. Is it normal for manipulative abusers not to give you closure?
It is completely normal and almost intentional. For a manipulator, withholding closure is a final act of control. Why they won't give it? Power play. Keeping you searching for answers keeps you tied to them mentally. Lack of accountability. Giving closure requires admitting fault, which they are rarely willing to do. The fog. They prefer you confused so you doubt your own perception of the abuse. Real closure is something you create for yourself by accepting that their actions were the answer, even if they never say the words. Would you like some tips on how to build your own closure without his input?
I've been doing pretty good on my own, but yeah, give me some tips.
Since you've been doing well on your own, these tips focus on shifting the power back to your internal narrative. Creating your own closure? Write an unsent letter. Pour out every detail of the anger, manipulation, and pain. Say everything you wish he would acknowledge, then shred or burn it. This moves the energy out of your body without involving him. Reframe the silence. View his refusal to provide closure as his final answer. His silence is a confession that he cannot or will not take responsibility. Focus on the what, not the why. Searching for why he did it keeps you in his headspace. Focus on what happened and how you will protect yourself now. Validate your reality. Write a list of facts about the relationship that you know are true. When you feel confused, read it to ground yourself in your own perspective. Build micro wins. Invest in a hobby or sensory experience that is purely yours. Reclaiming your space and routine is the ultimate form of moving on. Would you like to try drafting a few grounding facts together to help when the anger feels overwhelming?
Is it natural to feel stuck? Or like,
It is completely natural. Feeling stuck is often a protective freeze response from your nervous system, when the truth of what happened feels too heavy to process all at once. For an autistic person, this can also be inertia, where the brain struggles to switch from surviving the relationship to healing from the relationship. You aren't failing, you are recalibrating. Would you like some low-energy ways to help your brain shift out of this freeze state?
How long does this state usually last?
It varies, but a trauma-induced freeze or stuck state can last anywhere from hours to months. Because you are autistic, your brain may stay in this state longer due to the high cognitive load of processing betrayal alongside sensory input. It isn't a permanent plateau, it's more like your brain is buffering heavy data. The more you try to force yourself out of it with shame, the longer it tends to stick around. Would you like to try a 5-minute sensory reset to see if we can wiggle the needle a bit?